Hello. This will be a demonstration of Proposition 2 from Book 9 of Euclid's Elements, which says that if the product of two numbers is a square number, those numbers are similar plane numbers. This is the converse of the previous Proposition 9.1, so we should expect a similar pattern of logic. We're given two numbers, a and b, and their product will make the square number c. And what we want to prove then is that the two numbers, a and b, are similar plane numbers. We're going to begin, just like last time, by taking the square on a, call that d. So a times a, or in other words, a squared, makes the number d. What then we notice is that a has been multiplied by two numbers, a and b, to make d and c respectively. We know a times a makes d. We just did that in the last step. And we were given that a times b makes c. And we know from Proposition 717 that if a number multiplied by two numbers makes some products, the two numbers multiplied are in the same ratio as the products, so that a being multiplied by a and b to make d and c respectively. We can then say by Proposition 717 that a is to b just as d is to c. But we know d and c are both square numbers. We know d is a square number from our first step. That's how we made it. It's the square on a. And we know the number c is also a square number because we were given that a times b makes the square number c. And we also know from Proposition 811 that between two square numbers, there is one mean proportional. So that d and c, both being square numbers, there is one mean proportional that falls between them. But we also know from Proposition 8.8 that any numbers that are equal in ratio to d and c also have one mean proportional falling between them. That's what Proposition 8.1 tells us. So that because a is to b just as d is to c, and there is one mean proportional between d and c, there is also one mean proportional between a and b. But this means that a and b are similar plane numbers. That's what we learned in Proposition 8.20, that if one mean proportional falls between two numbers, then the two numbers are similar plane numbers. So that because there is one mean proportional that falls between a and b are therefore similar plane numbers, which is what we set out to prove, which means we're done with the proposition, therefore, etc., q, e, d. I'm going to use the same example last time of 8 and 18, but this time go in reverse. So we know 8 times 18 makes 144. We also know that the number 144 is a square number. It is equal to 12 squared. So what follows from this is that the plane number 8 is similar to the plane number 18, which we can verify quite easily. We can represent 8 as a plane with sides 2 and 4, and we can represent 18 as a plane with sides 3 and 6, and we know those sides are proportional. 2 is to 4 just as 3 is to 6, and because that's true, the two numbers 8 and 18 are similar plane numbers by definition. That's all I've got to say about this proposition, so I'll end the video here and move on to Proposition 9.3.